The Ryback Show starts now. Welcome to the Ryback Show Thursday Live. I am the big guy Ryback. Thank you for joining me, everybody. Streaming live on Instagram and TikTok, the big guy Ryback 22. Greatly appreciated everybody that watches the show live streaming on there. And as always, Ryback TV on YouTube, Ryback Rules on Twitch, and Ryback on Twitter. Thank you to you guys for watching on each individual platform. Super chats on Ryback TV are brought up on the screen, guaranteed to get answered. The other questions, as I see them in the comment section from Twitch and YouTube, I will get to those as I see them. I try to get to some questions if I see some good ones on Instagram or TikTok as well. This show is brought to you by Feed Me More Nutrition, premium supplement sweetened with stevia and monk fruit. No harmful artificial sweeteners or colors. Vegan friendly, available on feedmemore.com. Our Christmas marketing special is in place, guys, and all of the month of December, I am giving you guys free domestic shipping in the United States. You get free shipping with all of your orders. There's no shipping cost. That's like being an Amazon Prime member without the Prime membership all of December for Feed Me More Nutrition. And as a gift for you guys for the month of December, I'm giving you guys the Feed Me More Nutrition drawstring gym bag. You can put your fitness stuff in there, anything people like to throw their keys, whatever you want in those. So this is yours free. It's the free gift. Just select it on after you put an item in your cart, it will pop up, and you could add it for free. There's no charge on that. It's a gift from me to you. So free shipping and a free drawstring gym bag all of December. Sign up for my email and text messages. You get exclusive discounts on that. You can also get 25% off codes just for signing up for those. And you can capitalize on the 25% off, free shipping, and a free gift. There's no other supplement company giving you guys these discounts, especially for buying products that actually work, and they're the best supplements on the planet. It's not hype. It's not BS. It is a fact. And there's nobody doing what we are doing. And I'm very confident that once you try our supplements, the majority of people with an 80% returning customer rate are going to keep coming back. So I have no problem giving to my customers who continue to give to me and my brand and what I believe in. #hungry. Good to see all of you today. Appreciate all the love and support. Been a busy day. Had a knocked out 50 minutes on the Stairmaster at the gym for my endurance portion of cardio for the week. I like to be able to do that at least once a week, and it helps me with my high intensity interval training when I'm doing for like really cranking it out. It helps put extra strength in my legs so I can try to continue to hit personal records on my Stairmaster and other conditioning work for the week. I've really got a really good system in place that I had when I was wrestling in WWE, but I have improved it so much, and we're going vegan and improving just my diet and health altogether. This is by far the best my conditioning has ever been, and it was always very good, but I could never breathe through my nose. I got that fixed when I left. Got my ear fixed, which has nothing to do with the endurance portion of it, but I could breathe. My diet is better. My blood flow is better. Everything is better, and the shoulder is doing very well. So remember I told you guys there's the big scar tissue. It's like a golf ball in my right trap. And when I move my arm over, that ball really protrudes, which I have nothing on my left side, which is great. That side, luckily, has been great, my whole life. And it's very smooth, the muscle, there's no bumps. And so we have it pinpointed. The last area that I need, and I'm working on this thing just night and day throughout the day. And after I get done with this, I go walk the dogs. I'm going to have at least an hour on the softball tonight, and we're going to get it. It's going to break free, and it's going to be game on the moment that comes loose. So that's why I'm kind of like, it can happen at any point with chipping away at this. And it's a really cool process, but I'm not, quite frankly, I'm over it. I'm ready for it to be done with. And I've never had to face something that has taken so long. But it has been worth every second of it because I'm so happy and so healthy. And I was in pain my entire wrestling career. I'm not in pain anymore and feel so good and wake up so excited every day. And because I'm in control now, and everything has been great. So I appreciate all the love and support on everything, despite the setbacks and the hurdles and the speed bumps. You can't stop. You can't. Am I from Boston? You can't stop the big guy. All right, let's get to the questions. Looking to hey man to steal. What's up, Justin? Looking to chug a mushroom when you can. Chaga, I will look into chaga mushroom the moment the show is over. Chugga 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 mushroom. That's how I will remember it. Chugga 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 mushroom. Brandon, yeah, I do take GTS at night. I take it. I don't need to take it every night. I typically take it though when I am like, I know I got to get to bed at a certain point, and I have too much energy, and I need to start winding down. I love to take it an hour before bed. A lot of the ingredients in that they're not all the ingredients. They're not habit forming, and I have no urge to like, oh my god, I got to take this every night. And it's just it's a lot of things and things that are in teas and natural ingredients that I don't believe you have anything to worry about, quite frankly. And all the research shows that stuff. I'll tell you guys that it's beneficial. I'll always tell you, you don't have to take everything every day or every night. Use it when you need it. And I always think it's a good idea to take time off of things. And I'll do that, when I do my 24-hour fast, I don't take any supplements all day, don't take anything. I just let my body completely rest on that. And I think it's good to do things 5 days on, 2 days off, or whatever routine. If you do it for a few weeks, take a week off. It's always good just to implement things from an addiction standpoint, because us as humans, it's human nature because we use it, it's working. Oh, let's just keep doing it every day. And it's so I always say that you don't have to take it every night. Now, if you have issues and like you have something where you're working and you do, that's fine. But I think like at the end of the day, you'll get into a routine where you don't need to take it every night, unless you're like just drinking caffeine and that's just something you're not even aware of it, right? But that's why I always tell people cut out your caffeine intake too at a decent hour. If you go to bed at 9 or 10, you ideally don't want any caffeine 3, 4 at the latest. Some people have to go even sooner than that. So that's for me, that's kind of the window. Let's see. Uh yeah, there are other channels using the chips video. One of them has a lot of views. I've tried to report it, nothing happens. So I mean, people use stuff on that. Like I have no problem with people using my content on other platforms and stuff. I really don't. I don't really care too much about any of that. Um, but like on certain things, I guess it depends the context and what's going on with it. But especially like something like YouTube where it's monetized, it's a little bit, you're like, but at the end of the day, I don't really, it is what it is. I use people's videos, on things and put my own captions and own music on it. Uh, Usually to either get a laugh or for information to help people think. I'll post stuff that's pretty deep at times that will require people to think that a lot of people miss on that. And then other stuff is more haha funny, and other stuff is promotional stuff for the YouTube channel for Ryback TV or for the Ryback show. And then I've got all my own original content on top of that. But you know, YouTube's a little different because people take it and just straight monetize it for what it is, right? I am a ruffle man. Ruffle man. That's kind of like Kramer being the ass man in Seinfeld. I'm the ruffle man. Appreciate all the love and support. Thank you. We've got badges on Instagram. The love and support and TikTok always coming through. How did I lose to Kalisto? That was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun together out there. Pro wrestling is entertainment, and as a physical actor, you know what's going to happen prior to going out and competing, and it's the hardest job in the world, and it takes an insane amount of physical and mental toughness that the majority of human beings on the planet could not even fathom doing on that, and especially at the highest level possible. And I was leaving the company and walking out, and I knew that, and I did not resign my contract. But regardless of that information and anything going on, as a professional at that point in time, based on the current contract that I was under, that if you're asked to do something, you do it. And I always did that 100%. Now, if I go back and I have a different contract, that's a different story on that sort of thing, right? On different things. But for that point in time, as a you honor your contract and you do business, and I did proper business on my way out of the company. So Kalisto's was a was is a great wrestler. Little guy and Sophie are sleeping on the couch right now before their walk. All right, you're gonna get shell shocked out of Rybackville, Lazy Andy. I don't like the all caps coming at me a little too strong with that, bud. Lazy Andy just got shell shocked out of Rybackville. Do we have any? What do we have going on in the question? What's going on in the news today? Do we have any good news? Fill me in. What do we have going on? I've been a busy man. You have a singlet signed by me. Probably, I did sign a few of my singlets and sold them to a collector when I was in WWE. I believe I sold the purple one with the shield faces on it. I want to say I sold a red one. There's either two or three of them that I sold. I sold one pair of wrestling boots, and then the rest I didn't. I saved three other pairs of the shark. At the time, they were the shark skin ones, but I look back and I wouldn't buy anything leather anymore. I would just get something mock fox leather, whatever the mock leather, because being vegan. But the ones that I have are very high quality. Lots of people got released. I'm not aware of any more releases today. Were there more releases today? Thank you very much. Me versus Undertaker, who would win? You guys love that. It's my new thing on TikTok is cutting promos on the Q&A with people asking me who I would win. So ask if I find good ones on there, I will answer them. I've done today so far Stone Cold, Brock Lesnar, Stone Cold, and Big E. So we'll see what other ones pop up in the Q&A. I don't want to answer them on here because it's more fun doing them in the Q&As. Yeah, that's old news though, buddy. I thought you meant more today. That's already been talked about and over and done with. He'll be just fine. Extremely talented individual that John Morrison is. Do they play a theme song when I enter the arena, like backstage, like a boombox style, like "Hit My Feed Me More" song as I'm like out of my rental car walking into the back of the arena? No, we don't do that. We have the music for the show though that is everybody knows, but we don't do that for backstage. Not a bad idea though. Just carry around a boombox, old school style. I mean, technically, you just do it on your phone now, which would be, but maybe Bluetooth with like something with a really that could really project the theme song. Just walking down into catering and just hit the "Feed Me More" song. That's money. What a mark, right? Am I worried about ring rust? Nope, absolutely 100% not worried one bit. I've already been out for a good portion of my ankle injury and came back better than ever. And I know, and I will be back in the ring before I ever come back. And I would make sure, and I would not come back unless I was 100% confident and comfortable. I feel so good though, and my conditioning is so good. Wrestling is like riding a bike, and it's in there, and it's. But again, it's not like I'm gonna just say, "Hey, I'm going back." I'm not going to do any training. I have enough respect for myself and the business to know the work that I need to do, and that will be handled on my end and everything who I'm working with prior to everything. So that is what a professional does. But I've kept myself in shape physically and mentally to make that process as small and minuscule as possible. I would check out our brain feed, uh, brain formula there, memory and focus formula, and also check out the brain feed stacks really, really well with the wake up unlimited energy. And people that I tell that to that do it are very happy with it. So I would run a stack with the brain feed, memory and focus support with the wake up unlimited energy. I think you'll be very, very happy. Yes, Vince is going to sell WWE to Disney. I believe I said that on the Chris Van Vliet show a couple years ago, right? Yeah. Everything I've ever said has been a fact and been true. And again, could I be wrong on it? Yeah, but I've been ahead of this stuff because I was with the company my whole adult life. So it always kind of makes me chuckle that people will believe uh, people that have no clue that have never been involved in the business over people that have. I'll never understand that really. Would you ever date or marry a woman that wasn't a vegan? I am a vegan and it has taken a toll on my dating life. I think, yeah, I think you want to be with somebody that is at least plant-based and in the majority of their diet plant-based. There's of course there's always going to be special circumstances and things, but I think the last thing you want to do, I think that that's where you and there's plenty of vegans out there. When and dating is the one thing people have to understand. You know, that's the most important decision that somebody makes with their life. And we talk about like our circle and you know who you surround yourself with or who you don't surround yourself with. Most importantly, ideally, in people that typically have a lot of success keep their circle very small. And you know, a lot of people, a lot of the successful CEOs and business entrepreneurs, they read and listen to a lot of books, and that's something that has helped me my whole life is learning from mentors of people that are living highly successful lives. On top of all my personal development and mindset stuff, to try to have a balance of that of success and happiness with that. But so picking somebody that you're going to want to have a relationship with, it is so important to have a list of things or at least a mental note to some degree of the things that are important to you and in what you are looking for in a partner or somebody. Ideally, if you're dating, you're ideally looking for a partner long term, most likely, or at least for the period, the year, 6 months, whatever is that has as many interests and things in common with you. Because the more things that you have not in common, those create friction. And if you have enough of them, then that creates a stressful, strainful relationship. And it's not rocket science, but so many times, and I've done it when I was younger and gone off looks and physical attraction, and that is, and it's great for a while, but ultimately the problems always will rear their head out, and you have to, and that's where being honest and communicating, well, like, what are you looking for? This is what I'm looking for. What are you looking for? And talk, well, what do you think about this? But whatever those things are, 5, 10, 15, 20 things that are important to you in life and seeing, and that's why it's important to talk, to get to know people and take your time with it and not rush into anything. And, you know, but it happens in life. People go out, get somebody pregnant. They know nothing about each other. Turns out they couldn't be any worse for each other. Now they've just brought another human into the world, right? And it happens time and time and time again. We do have a new food video out today, new feeding time from it's now named Ryback TV Vegan Feeding Time. So because the channel, I don't want to put vegan in the channel, but people that search videos, the vegan feeding time will start popping up for vegans, hopefully. And I'm sure it's going to turn away more people though that don't like the word vegan. Oh, he's vegan. I'm not even going to watch him eat that good looking food. Hey, why do you have to put vegan in the title? Well, we do that so that people that are vegan know that it's vegan because they're not going to look at me and think, oh, that guy's vegan. Okay, that's so ridiculous. I'm going to read this out loud. Okay. Garrow says, under the whole feed me more gimmick, you could have done something where you spit out random foods when the other guy punches your stomach, causing you to get weaker. But if you eat food mid-match, you'd get more powerful. CM Punk had ice cream bars. You could have sub sandwiches or something. Are you fucking retarded? You you want me to have food in my mouth while I'm wrestling and like what kind of food would you like me to have in my mouth? Like little vegan chicken nuggets and like the guy from Punjab just spitting out chicken nuggets as I'm trying to wrestle? And then I gather up those chicken nuggets that I had in my mouth that I wasn't digesting earlier because I'm just holding chicken nuggets in my mouth, vegan. And then I start feeding myself more and gaining the power in the match. And then I Hulk up big guy style, meat hook, shell shock, feed me more. Jesus. What goes through your head even asking a question like that? I should block you. There's no such thing as stupid questions, but there are such thing as stupid people. And my friend, you're a stupid person. That can't work on any level. Now, if you wanted to say the question, like I hulk up on food towards the end of the match, but why do I need the food in my mouth to try to wrestle with a mouthful of food? You know the choking risk of that alone? Do you want to see me die? Inconsiderate. Inconsiderate. Calling you a retard was a compliment. I shouldn't even have said that because they're the sweetest, nicest people on the planet, and I love them. And I have, and it's they're and I, but I could say that word because it's funny sometimes, and I work for myself. I know there's some sensitive people out there, but we'll call you a Terrence and Phillip. How about that? God, that was a hell of a question. I'm not gonna lie though. I need a little Zevia break here after that one. You can't fake this stuff. I don't even know where that. I don't know what. Like, hey, I'm going to watch the Ryback show tonight. Man, I've really had this question just brewing in my brain for months, for years. I think it's the most. This is the greatest idea how to get over. Have food in your mouth before the match. Jeez. Just walk out. They just got a big pot of mashed potatoes and gorilla for me. There's Ryback's food before he goes out. Just mashed potatoes and gravy just dripping out of my mouth out there. Why isn't he swallowing it? Well, he's holding it in his mouth so his opponent can hit him in the belly, and then he spits it out. Then he scoops it up in the middle of the match and hulks up. Come on, give me a good super chat here. All right. Feed me. Good to see you, buddy. Thank you for the super chat. With complete control, how would you make WWE a better program? Oh, you're giving me complete control of the company? Also, if you could book a heel tag team and a babyface tag team, who are you picking? Okay, so let's cheese. You guys try to keep these to one good question on these because this is so with complete control, how would you make WWE a better program? So owning a wrestling company and everything goes in that is a tremendous amount of work. And there's no doubt, and I respect the logistics of coming and granted getting handed a company from your father, and it wasn't from nothing with that, but taking it to the levels it did, and you have a lot of people. There's a lot of positives, is where there's a lot of negatives still with it, right? But at the end of the day, how would you make it better? And you kind of take all that stuff and just not look at that stuff right there. But the easiest way to make a company better, and this goes for wrestling or not wrestling, is creating a positive work environment. And that comes from the head person and trickles down. And when you have a positive work environment and you have your rules and regulations and things in place, but you have a positive work environment. And in the goal of a wrestling company, and I don't think, and I will even say this for AEW, I don't think they're doing as much as they could to make it's like UFC to make big time stars. You have complete control over this program that is supposed to be a simulation of real fighting. You can make the biggest stars on the planet if you want with pro wrestling, and they're not doing it anymore. And a part of it though is it goes both ways. It's not just the promotion. You need the right people as well that have that energy with that to run with it, but a positive work environment and in the meetings, and it is understood what are we going to do to get our roster over today, who we're going to, and you have the guys that you need to make, it's a positive conversation. It's not who are we going to bury, whose momentum are we going to stop today, who can we job out to make look like a schmuck tonight. That's not the conversation. the conversation is positive and goes, every spoke on the wheel that we make bigger and stronger, it makes our logo, our brand bigger and stronger. We want guys to get so big that they get opportunities to go leave for 6 months and go do things. And then they want to come back because we treat them so good. They get paid so good and we treat them so good that we are going to just enhance everything. And it creates opportunities for new guys when people are gone. But that's not the way that it is. And so that is the one thing that I think would make the biggest difference personally. If I could book a heel tag team and a babyface tag team, who you picking? I would pick Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode to take on me and Goldberg. That's that's what I'm booking as the owner of the company. Great question. What else do we have going on? Well, the Moringa and Shilajit is going to be combined together in our Gorilla Gas supplement. So I'm not going to have to worry about that. They're both, I'm telling you, the Shilajit for strength, and I could tell the muscle tissue in my pecs since starting that is getting back to old form, where I'm getting my chest back, and that is the Shilajit is the real deal, and I feel amazing on that. Moringa though, it's there's so many vitamins and minerals in moringa, but again, you can take a whole food multivitamin too. But the moringa and two the fat burning properties, it stacks so well. The shell shock, don't put that on me. I don't want to pick just one because I don't have to, because it's going to be all combined in Gorilla Gas with CMOS. You would be very right, Tyler, on your assessment. And I knew that from day one. I've talked about it openly, and it is okay. But I also know that how big I got, even with all that going on. And I know if there's no speed bumps put in the way or no brick walls, or then I already know. And that's why they suppressed my social media. They know what I'm capable of. And a lot of people, I don't care what people think. I already know. I know the facts and I know the truth, and I know the paperwork they sent me. I know they wanted all my social media, and then they suppressed all my accounts when we did not give it to them. And they've gone out of their way to try to prevent me from being successful out of there, and they're never going to stop me. I promise you. Uh, Robbie, yeah. So I saw this actually, the clip, South Park post-COVID episode was perfectly made. I'm going to have to watch that whole episode. I just saw a clip a little bit ago, and yeah, and I'm gonna have to see if I could see the whole thing. I haven't seen South Park in so long though. I didn't even know South Park. I thought it got stopped. Is it back up? I'm so out of the loop. I don't watch a lot of TV. Oh, good question. Do I think I would have had a good WWE title run if I defeated John Cena at WWE Payback in 2013? Well, technically, I did defeat him the pay per view prior, the last man standing match, but I was not awarded the title. And then he got me out the that one with the ambulance. Um, that would have depended on who the opponents were in the storylines, and it is I can make anything work, but if they are purposely giving you things for it to not have like good momentum and not work, you got to be put with guys that understand the assignment and want to go out there and do business. And at various points, and there's guys, and I'm not going to name names or anything, that they were done, and they were not all there, and in various points of their career, and you don't get the most out of them that you would have liked, just the way that it is. But I always, any time, whether it was me going over or the roles are reversed, always gave it everything I had. And that's why I always say, when people, anytime anyone will ever say if anything about attitude or anything, I go back and watch my last match. I saved a guy from getting injured potentially, and watch the reaction on when he beat me. That's because of the energy we put into that match. and in the things that we did to get the crowd to hate me and to like him, with very little build with that. Super chat the dude 087. Hey Ryback, are raw oats good to eat? I don't. So yeah, but I don't eat them. I used to eat oatmeal when I was younger, and I just don't eat it as much. I've got a lot of people love it though. I think the woman that just passed away, uh, God bless her. She lived to be 100, I think 20 something year, 124 years old. I think she was born like in 1897 or 1890 something, and she was primarily plant based, from what I saw, and oats though was on what she ate daily. So definitely something to that. Maybe I should throw a few oats into the diet. But yeah, I never. I just since I used to take it and mix protein powder with it, or one of my tricks I used to do was oatmeal and peanut butter, and you stir the peanut butter in, and then I would let it sit for a while. I'd even put it in the freezer for a little bit to let the top get all hard, and then you have a nice crusty, like hardened peanut butter oatmeal top, and then the other oatmeal underneath it. And oh, that's actually bringing back some memories. I might have to try that again. And or I do that with the protein powder and the peanut butter with the oatmeal. That was always a go-to when I was younger. I do legs hard once a week, but I do the Stairmaster multiple times and so many box jumps and conditioning things where my legs are getting so much training throughout the week, but I hit them hard one day a week and like 20, 24, 26, 28 sets by the time it's all said and done. Ryback asked, I like how Ryback's in my chat, and a picture of myself, Ryback. Would you want to live that long, 124 years old? That's a good question. It depends on the quality of life. If everything is great and you're feeling great and moving great, but at the same time, you're gonna experience a lot of life, right? And as far as if you outlive obviously all your loved ones and your family, but if you have kids and but even then at that age, and I think that you can her she had a daughter that was 101 years old, I think, and she was 124, and I'm like, whoa, that's intense. But it depends. It depends. That's a I mean, it just if life is good, life is good. But again, if life isn't good, that's a different question. But who's to say? Like by the time with the way things are advancing and the technology, look at me. I got my health back. I regrew 5 discs with stem cells. The technology we're going to have just moving forward, it's going to be a thing of like in the future, it's going to be a thing like, man, those poor people that got injured, like they used to have surgery, and do rehab, or like where like yeah, I shouldn't say surgery because I don't think it's going to be things. Surgery is always going to exist, but like as far as like the recovery time and rehab, right, and things, and then career-ending injuries or like things like where they could just like we could regrow this, we could regrow that. They're going to have all of this at some point in time where people are going to like, oh man, they used to be out for 9 months. We were out for a week with that. It's inevitable. We look back at the generations prior and the things they didn't have available. We're no different. We're just a small little blip in this big game. And and you know, but yeah, it is a good question. Would I want to live to be 124? It's gonna. I would have I'd go through a lot of dogs by that point. That's for sure. How do I keep the top of my head so shiny? I don't know. I just took a shower before this. I shower usually twice a day, big on cleanliness. You don't want to be walking around stinking, especially I work out. I was drenched after training, complete after 50 minutes on the Stairmaster. All my clothes were just soaking wet, just big pig. So I had to I got to stay on top of the laundry and everything. I go through a lot of clothes, and they're all big clothes. 4X sweaters, that stuff takes up a lot of room. 3X shirts. I'm drinking a Zevia ginger ale with ice in my Feed Me More Nutrition shaker bottle. Wardrone asks, why don't you grow some hair? I can grow a full head of hair. I shave my head every other day. I got to shave it tomorrow morning. I do my neckline. I trim my beard once a week, and I do the head every other day. I've been on that routine for many since 2012, maybe even 2011. So it's I don't think I like the bald look. I think with my voice, my image, who I am, I like being bald. People know me from being bald. I think it's very important if you have something that works, especially from wrestling and your persona and my entire brand, I'm on all my supplements. I think it's smart to stay as consistent with your look as possible. Make my own chips. I think I'm just going to make a deal with Ruffles at some point. I like that Ruffle Man. He's the Ruffle Man, like the Scat Man. He's the Ruffle Man. Very nice. Thank you. Saying I should have beaten the Undertaker at WrestleMania. Pick him up and march him around Death Valley. Carry him right over to Rybackville. Shell shock 1, 2, 3. Appreciate all the love and support over on TikTok. You guys, the account, I'm hoping to get some answers. The account has been suppressed over there pretty heavily, actually. Um, they dropped my views in half from the month prior, and that's already going. It looks like we got to get it back on track. It looks like it's going to get cut in half based off already what it's showing. I go, it's bad. So, and there's still a few things that are falling into the For You page, but it's not going. It's like the Instagram, like a post that even if I get something that gets 100,000, that should be getting in the millions. And it's especially based off the following. It's not good, but hopefully TikTok is responsive and gets back on what's going on, even though we already know what's going on. And it was 2 years of greatness, and now they partnered with WWE on there, and we've seen what's happened on every other platform. Yeah, I don't know why Triple H would view me as a threat. It's unfortunate, and when you're a business, you got to put your ego aside, and you got to realize what's good for business, and it is what it is. He's always had a thing with guys that are muscular and that could wrestle and go. He always has. Yeah, I do believe they're going to have, because with the stem cells, I believe they're going to be able to regrow cartilage, which the stem cells, if you have cartilage, they can regrow that. I believe though they're going to be able to do something where they could get a piece of your own cartilage and regrow it with stem cells, and then I don't know how. I just feel they're going to be able to do this based off what I've seen and how good I feel with everything. Um, I just think it's gonna be, no doubt they're gonna be able to. And when you're dealing with joints and things like that, it's a little difficult. But I just think in general, so I think that like the shoulder replacement, and I know this because they told me I needed one, is the plastic on it. It's not, you can't do anything. You can't train hard. You could do very light stuff, but I would never have been able to go back to wrestling. I would not be anything that I was. So it wasn't an option. I do think they're going to have the eventually something more reliable, that where you can get your shoulder replaced and people wouldn't even know it. And I think that is going to be, maybe as I'm older, if I have any sort of issues, but I have no arthritis issues pretty much now that we're getting the remaining scar tissue gone, and my everything is calmed down because the mechanics of the shoulder, everything's kind of sitting back where it needs to. It's a very complicated joint and area. Just there's so many different muscle tie-ins and different muscle groups, and it's it's definitely been the trickiest part of putting the puzzle back together. But we are close. Excuse me, not COVID. We have any other TikToks? I appreciate the badges. 767. I'm choking. On Instagram, that's a couple cups of large Starbucks coffee. Greatly appreciated over there tonight. Have a good night, Cole. Appreciate you swinging by. Jose asked, "What's a good alternative for a cup of noodles? I've had them many times before, but I didn't realize how much sodium is in a single cup." Yeah, you got it. Well, the sodium, a lot of that from noodles comes in the packet of the seasoning too, even though the noodles do have them as well. Uh, and you could always reduce the sodium by rinsing them out really, really good, and not using the packet and putting something a lower sodium sauce or something in there or mixing it with something else. And I'm sure they do make lower sodium noodles with that. But anytime you're dealing, with processed food, which that stuff can be beneficial though, when you're trying to pack in some calories, you just got to make sure you have your nutrients in place also. You never want to sacrifice that stuff long term for nutrients. There's a video I just saw that popped up on my YouTube last night with Nick Best and the is it Brian Shaw on I think it was on Brian Shaw's channel, and they were in Vegas doing one of the buffets and eating just an insane amount of food. And a lot of those guys, you see that they do this all the time. And I did a few of the videos, and then I realized they go, "This is super unhealthy. This is not going to be beneficial," and that stuff adds up. And especially when you're dealing now and eating, that was before I went vegan. And I was vegetarian and doing the cheat meal once a week, and then I just went straight vegan. I could tell how I would feel worse and worse each week doing this stuff. But the McDonald's one was the tipping point for me. But they're eating, and there's a clip in there where Brian said something to Nick about because Nick wanted more vegetables, and Brian goes, "Oh, you need to eat. This is all about calories, not nutrients." And I was like, "It's the worst mindset to have. You're asking for a heart attack with that mindset, and it's especially the way that they eat. There's a reason why those guys they don't typically live the longest lives. Not to say that they can't if they, but it's because they're eating high meat diet usually, and that's been shown time and time again. And the stress they put on their bodies long term and other things involved, it's not a good recipe for long term health with that. But the point is you don't. That's the worst mindset to have. Is I'm just going to replace calories in place of nutrients with processed food. No, you don't have to. That's lazy. Don't do that. Oh, we got a super chat here. Lewis McDonald, thank you very much, buddy. You were my favorite wrestler in WWE. Thank you very, very much, buddy. I hope you're doing well, and I hope to be back wrestling. Hopefully early next year if everything can go right. We got to get this scar tissue broken up in my trap, and it's going to happen. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. So it's cool to see the love and support on here, and know that some of you guys still care. Thank you very much. I agree. It does take days for our body to digest meat, and it's not good eating it every day. It's a different thing if it's something and it's a special treat here and there. But even then, we thrive without it. Especially when I've talked about the different circumstances and scenarios. We don't need it, and we're destroying our planet, and we're torturing, loving, caring animals and beings. By the way, I forgot to tell you guys. So because I get asked this, the Wake Up Unlimited Energy Pink Lemonade has shipped out and is on its way to fulfillment. But it won't be in stock until probably Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm assuming it's going to be in stock Tuesday or Wednesday. It should be back on the website next Tuesday or Wednesday, but it is on its way to fulfillment. and so next week it will be back in stock. I could say confidently on that. So the pink lemonade is on its way. Thank God, because I've missed it. We were out of stock for a couple months. Yeah, I do know coffee. Coffee is 0 calories without sugar. I'm a black coffee guy. I like to do one black coffee from Starbucks a day, and then I do one decaf usually at night. Sometimes I don't though. I did my decaf this morning. I did it this morning when I did my ultrasound. Thank you very much, Jose. Yeah, we got to talk about it. It's the only way. A lot of people are just not aware of what we're doing and the repercussions of our individual choices and change in the way that we get big corporations and businesses and fast food chains to change is we change, and then they will change because the demands are going to change, and they're going to want to keep making money. And that's why we're seeing more plant-based options because people are changing. And so they're finally changing, not nearly at the rate they should be, but at least they're changing. And I do believe the majority of these companies, uh, they will be plant-based and they lab grown organic meats. There will be that will be the future. Yeah, it was the Pocky chip hot. Yeah, the Pocky chip. They definitely got kicked to it, yeah, and I've done several of those videos and of the chips, and I actually think I got a couple of them sitting up in my cabinet with, like, some really insane hot stuff. I've got some insane stuff. I keep it all in a box and tucked away. And I've debated throwing it all out because I don't plan on ever doing it ever again, but I've done the hottest stuff on the planet, and, the only thing I never did was the Mad Dog Plutonium #9, and I really have no regrets not doing it because I knew it would have been pure torture. So, Stacy says I stopped breathing. Let's see. I stopped breathing 104 times a night. I weigh in at 388. My main problem is portion control and not having the strength to work out. What would you suggest? So you got to, again, so if you stop breathing 104 times a night, I don't know if you're on a sleep apnea machine or not. First thing you need to do is you need to go to get a sleep study done and look that up in your area at what places and go through your insurance and you go there and then they get you on a sleep apnea machine and you need to wear that thing every single night and they are amazing and it will completely affect how you feel all for the positive which will increase your energy. So that's first thing first on that. Then once you have that in check and your energy levels will start to improve because you're actually going to be getting better sleep, taking into account that maybe you don't have that now. And if you do, then to the next part is you have to start fix our food, we fix our mood. Life is energy, food is energy, and we are energy. So you have to maximize the energy and be very nutrient and mineral and antioxidant based on providing your body with these things that can help repair and heal us and give us the energy and the strength we need to do things. And over time, when you start incorporating more vegetables, certain select fruits first thing in the morning or post physical activity, and then you have to start incorporating little by little baby steps, increasing your physical activity, whether you go for a 20-minute walk or a 30-minute walk once a day or a 10-minute walk twice a day, something you start, and maybe you do 10-minute walks 3 times a day. You have to start getting the ball rolling and you have to be motivated each day to want to achieve these things and is understand that as you start feeling better, you will be able to start increasing your physical activity. But it's the power of being hungry. And so you have to create a story in your head and you have to believe it. And where, like, if I was you and I was in your position and my energy was down, I would just say to myself, I'm going to die in 6 months if I don't change right now. This is how my brain operates. I will create a story in my head and I will live that story. And so that I know each day that if I'm not producing and being productive, that if I'm not where I need to be in 6 months, I'm done. And and that's where you start learning how to motivate yourself and you have something to live for, right? And you got it. So you have to find what that is though, and then start doing it. Intermittent fasting is a great way to get control of blood sugar and knowing how many calories, basal metabolic rate calculator online. That's a great tool to plug in your information to know how many calories you should be consuming a day to maintain. And then you can adjust it on those to if you want to lose weight or gain weight. So you need to know your numbers on top of that as well. And then you got to start following some stuff and understanding food. And you got to realize that what led you to this position was you grew up and nobody taught you about nutrition or food, or it just for whatever reason didn't happen. Neglected it, and you're in the position you're in now. So it's never too late to be who you want to be if you switch your mindset. Happens like that. You might look a certain way, but your mindset won't. Your mindset will be do a complete 180. And that's what you got to get that hungry mindset, and you got to say, nope, I'm going to be better. I want to do this, I want to do that. I want to go do things, I want to feel good. I want to go out. I don't want people to look at me in a negative way. I want more of myself. We have one life on this. I've lived it this way. I know how rewarding this way is. I don't like the way that I feel. I'm going to wake up tomorrow and I don't give a shit what anyone thinks or says. I'm going to start being better. And that's what you do. But you have to want to do that. And if you don't, you don't. But you have to want it. There's no one patting us on the back, and there's nobody that's going to do the work for us, man. It's we do it or we don't, right? So you got to do it, man. Get to these super chats here. Paul, thank you very much for the super chat. That coffee money coming in. Paul Estrada. Always been a big fan of the last name Estrada. The big guy, feed me more. Thank you. Thank you. We've got another super chat. Amanda throwing the big guy 50. That's a lot of coffee there. I usually miss your live streams because of work, but I love the message you send, even though I'm not a vegetarian. Thank you very much, Amanda. Amanda Rolf. And thank you. It's very kind of you. I greatly appreciate that, Amanda. And thank you. Yeah, they always the streams stay up, but I always we do them live. I like the live feel. It gives me a sense of wrestling when I'm live. Lets me live a little. Thank you for stopping by, Amanda. Yeah, I am famous for wearing my singlet, but I wore trunks before and after. I wore trunks my final months in WWE as well. Some great shots of the big guy's abs at the end. The book I'm finishing right now is The Real Anthony Fauci. It was a long one. That's what she said. And it is I recommend everybody read it to everything that's going on in our world. Let me see. Was that a book recommendation? Um, you reading? I've just finished. The Proof is in the Plants, written by Simon Hill. I think you would like his stuff. The Proof is in the Plants. Thank you very much. I'm going to actually download that on Audible next, if it is on there. If not, I'll buy it on Amazon. Thank you, Ben. I always like it when people recommend things to me on here. A lot of times I check it out what you guys suggest. So thank you very much. Yeah, that's what she said. It's just funny. I don't know. It's just I put it. It's a thing I do for feeding time, and when something organically comes up, and that's what she said. It's just it lightens the mood. Tony, I know if you're not a fan of Fauci, read it. It is on his whole career, and you will be even less of a fan of him after you read it. But it is if you were, I'll tell you, and I don't listen to it every day. It's why it's taken me a bit because it drains me listening to him and Gates and how horrible these human beings are. It is. I feel bad for everybody that's buying into like it is. I said before with things, do what you want to do. I'll never, but anything with no long-term studies and there's knowing their track record of failures, of hurting people and just how they live their lives, not happening. I will never get it. And I encourage you got to do your due diligence, do your own research and things and information. But you know, as a healthy person that hasn't been sick in 9 years, that has shown and done things and lived his life a certain way, you can't expect me to then look and there's no panic, there's no pandemic. This is all BS now that we're dealing with this. This is the biggest money grab in the history of the world, where you just say, and their lack of again today, they're trying to put people against other people, right? With Brandon up there saying that the people that aren't getting the deal are preventing everybody from having their normal life. No, they are preventing everybody from having their normal life, and they've done nothing but lie from day one on everything. And they're moving the goalposts time and time again, and it is absolutely ridiculous what is going on with that. But they're trying to make the people that have bought in hate the other people, and it's not, you know, how many times have you seen them go up there and promote health and fitness and wellness, all the things that are proven to make a difference? If you want to promote the other thing, great, you could. Why aren't you promoting everything if we're truly trying to get everyone better? Instead, because they're all profiting off of this like no other. And that is why they just keep. And on top of that, we have the other stuff going on with the Epstein deal, with the was it Ghislaine? What's her name? Ghislaine Maxwell. The people that are involved in that, and all I'm going to say about that is anybody that is on those records and flying. And people talk. We all know it's This is just so common sense, basic level stuff that if you're a celebrity, you know if somebody's up to no good with something. You don't all of a sudden be like, hey, I'm gonna hop on his jet and go to his island. I'm no. If any of us normal, logical thinking human beings that are good-hearted human beings know somebody is doing something potentially in that realm, you're not going to associate with that person one bit. So there's a lot of stuff that's going to go on and hopefully comes out with what's been going on. And it will be no shock to me at all. But it is that we have a lot of things going on in the world right now, a lot of crazy things that I feel like they're trying to keep people distracted from the most powerful people in the world that are connected to this whole trial. So it's a good idea to keep your eyes on it. I try not to, I live my life and do my thing, but it is very concerning the lengths they are going to try to keep distracting people when that is something that would be worthwhile for distracting for all the kids and everyone that was tortured. And it is, it's unreal. But I always said the truth always comes out. And they go, it may not come out right away, but it ultimately always comes out, and you cannot stop the truth. But there's people that are trying to delay it until their time ends, and then they're not too worried about. But it's going to happen sooner or later. And yeah, focusing on goals and positive stuff. That's why we all got to live our lives and focus on what we're doing and building and what we're our loved ones in our circle as much as possible. Because if we get caught up in what everybody else is doing in their lives, it just that's a big problem in the world right now. For a lot of people, it's not, but for a lot of people, it is. Super sticker from Eggs. Thank you very much, Super Sticker. Ryback on TikTok. The question was, do I have any advice on getting over a breakup? You want to try to have positive thoughts towards that person and wish them the best, and understand that relationships are not meant to always be forever. And that if you truly, deeply in your heart and soul, genuinely just try to wish that person the best, regardless of the situation, and keep yourself occupied and busy, and try to go one day at a time. And as time goes on, it will become easier and easier. And keep yourself open to and understand that the lessons that you learn in that could be what helps you make a decision. And then if you messed up, or if she messed up, or if it just wasn't the right fit, it will. And I talked about it earlier on the show, the importance of understanding what we want so that we could ideally find somebody that really, really is very similar to us. And that takes time and experience. Some people get lucky and hit that jackpot very young. Other people go throughout their lives, and everybody has a different journey and a different path. So I think you got to just keep a positive mindset. on the situation and respect that it's over and try to move on from it and go one day at a time. And the best thing to do is to stay busy with that. Christie, yeah, you could say that, but they present nothing. They present facts in that book, so it really kind of throws what you're saying out the window right there. If you're getting facts on what they're doing, it doesn't matter who's presenting the information. They're presenting facts through research studies and things that are going on. You gotta just you gotta wake up, man. You gotta wake up, and so you can't just you just gotta see. And you can look and you can see if you read it and see he's doing the same thing now that he's done throughout the years on different things. So, and then you could also see the guy's profiting from all of this. That right there, right? Based off of you're going to say that, if you got an individual that's profiting off this entire whole thing, who many people believe truly created it, conflict of interest, right? So you could say believe in the science all you want. That science is screwing up a lot of people and it's killing a lot of people. I'll tell you what's not killing people: eating fruits and vegetables and strengthening your immune system, taking whole food multivitamins, minerals, getting proper exercise, immune system boosters with everything. That's not killing people. That actually that keeps people alive. So, but you're free to choose and do whatever you want to do. Just don't try to force it on healthy people. That's all that we ask. Yeah, going on hot ones. I think it would if there was a vegan wing deal. I've done all those hot sauces already. There's nothing too crazy on those hot sauces. So, but we'll have to see. That would probably happen once I'm back, I would imagine. All right, guys. With that, we're gonna wrap up. I gotta go get the dogs out. I gotta finish up some work here. And I appreciate all the love and support on here, everybody with the super chats and Instagram and TikTok with the gifts and the badges on there. Super, super appreciated. Make sure Feed Me More Nutrition, guys, feedmemore.com. Free shipping the whole month of December, and the free Feed Me More Nutrition drawstring gym bag on there is your free gift with your orders on there, guys. So check that out. And you could also sign up for my text and email program where you get a message of positivity and a discount, exclusive discount each week. But you get 25% off for signing up for each one. That's under the menu bar and sign up for you see the newsletter. And to sign up, you click on that and you can sign up for the newsletter or the text message or both. And you get 25% off also with the free shipping and the drawstring bag. So definitely getting hooked up for the month of December there with Feed Me More Nutrition on feedmemore.com. Have a great evening and stay hungry, my friends. Feed me more.